Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey Oakbrook, what do you say? The Cubs actually sent me a cease and desist for a video during Cubs Social where I was holding Brady. Brady, hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. I was holding Brady and it was, Brady, you got stuff in your butt. You got stuff in your butt. I was holding him, and the song "Go Cubs Go" was going because the Cubs won. Surprisingly, wasn't during that 9-game skid. Sent a cease and desist saying, "Hey, you can't post that song." This is what happens so often. Is a lot of people don't understand trademark code. I'm not a lawyer, okay? I just read the source code. You can sing a song, but you can't, if it's sung, that's okay. So you can't play the White Snake, Here We Go Again, the one that is hilarious. You gotta check that out. It's on Tom Brady's TikTok. Not this Brady, but the Homo sapien Tom Brady TikTok. It is hilarious. So a lot of times people in power, they will try to extract value from the little guy. They'll try to take away equity, sweat equity, by trying to literally make up shiitake. And that's because most people will then kind of back away from a cease and desist, which is why when people say, "Oh, you're such a troublemaker," I'm not a troublemaker. I just stand up for myself. And I actually like getting caught doing something good, because my getting caught for doing something good was a 21-game package that I created myself for a Cubs season where, I mean, do I just want to go to the 3-game series debut of a new infielder? No, I want to go to 21 games. It was pretty fun, right, Brady? Rich people will make up stuff and you actually will be pressed down upon. They'll just blanket, not necessarily blanket try to screw everybody, but they'll just carpet bomb just horribleness, because they know that your average consumer, they know that your average startup founder, they'll just wipe their mouths and then walk away. Like, that's just been true, and that's why people call me a troublemaker, because I actually like standing up for the little guy. Look at me, I'm a giant Chinese man, and I have a super small white dog. I mean, what is that about? Okay, I mean, I should have a large dog, right? So getting caught doing something good, that's supremely beneficial, because my local college actually sent me a C&D also for doing something great, which was a mandated, allowed event, and I was hosting a great female founder named Lisa Falzone on February 26, 2013. Why am I getting sent the cease and desist? That's good, isn't it? You want to get caught for doing something good. And what's important during this little diatribe, this one-way conversation, is I would love to hear your thoughts. But the most important thing is when somebody says something that, hey, this is just how stuff works, ask them why. Be cognizant of the rules and always I'm going to say always, because some of you are going to fight, but always read the source code. Always read the base reason. Always read the actual source, because hearsay and regurgitated, oh, this is how I think trademark law works, because once your company starts to take off, once your startup starts to take off, people will be trying to get your company for free. and they will bully, and they will keep bullying you, literally keep bullying you. I'm 9 for 9 in court, not because I like going to court. Well, actually, because of Tony Robbins' pain-pleasure juxtaposition. I used to hate confrontation. Now I actually set people up for confrontation, just like by singing "Go Cubs Go," because perfectly sung songs get hooked into the YouTube algorithm of send them a cease and desist letter. With bullying, the countermeasures to bullying are absolutely critical and necessary, which is why I have a hashtag called CS183law. CS like computer science, 183 like one number less than 184, law, L-A-W. Hashtag CS183law helps the little guy, helps specifically all y'all, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be rising, because all these videos, they're really helpful in helping you go from $0 to $600,000, okay? And then accidentally you'll be like, oh, I'm accidentally at $4 million. Oh my God, isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy? Oh, I can't believe this actually worked. Then people will start coming after you. Brady, what is all this junk in your fur? Does anyone take care of you? People will start bullying you, large corporations. In my case, it was Bear Isaac, the FICO score company. They're like, hey, you're breaking monopoly, which is why I love Carl Opedal, which is why I love Mark McCormack, which is why I love Marty Pitchinson. Colorado lawyer, Yale Law School, who started a sports agency, street smart legal practitioner who maybe doesn't have a law degree, but really capitalizes, pun intended, venture capital pun intended, capitalizes on assignment of benefit of creditors. Assignment for benefit of creditors, Marty Pitchinson. This is why I love trademark law, because I'm not a lawyer, but when Fair Isaac came after me saying, hey, we've got a monopoly and you're breaking trademark by showing people how to get to a FICO score over 800 by talking about a FICO, that's when I learned about copyright law, where if I'm deep fat frying a McDonald's cheeseburger and then sprinkling hot fudge on it and then putting in homemade whipped cream, I'm allowed to sell you a McDonald's cheeseburger sundae. That actually sounds good. I just made that up, by the way. But I'm allowed to deep fat fry a McDonald's cheeseburger and then sell it. Ditto a Twinkie, okay? Not this Twinkie, like get it yellow on the outside, white on the inside, which, Brady, are you an inverted Twinkie where you're yellow on the inside, white on the outside? If I deep fat fry a Twinkie, that's totally allowed. And then if I sell it, I'm selling you an altered Twinkie. That's what an external API is, okay? This is the basis for some of the genius stuff inside of CS183E. And CS183S is, where do you want to go for a pee? I'll take you for a bathroom. CS183E, CS183S, which is external API. External like internal, API like application protocol interface. External API is where you're DJing two APIs. So in the previous Twinkie example, if I put the Twinkie that was altered, deep fat fried, and then the McDonald's cheeseburger that was deep fat fried, and then turned it into its own new thing, that's its own new thing, and I'm not necessarily going to trademark it because that's just silliness. That's why people that want to do a patent, silliness. But if I combine those two things together and then sell them, that's innovative. And that's what you do with FICO. You have just a company like your version of Duck 9 help people get deeply understood credit knowledge for people initially starting their FICO score in Texas, in Alabama, in Florida. Are they still a state? I mean, if it's still a state, you should do Florida, because some of those people, they're not the best at doing their credit score. External APIs, where you DJ a couple of APIs together, and the best starts are when they're from outside of a company. That's the best way to start, and that's why knowing about law and knowing about how stuff starts, completely counterintuitive. And this circles back to, oh my God, I'm bookending this perfectly. This circles right back to Cub stuff, because, sorry, I mean, this is just true. And I know I'm also going to be ripping on my friend, Mr. Kraft, who's been great and he's just awesome. But professional sports teams, they're the worst with sending out massive C&Ds, okay? That's why the Cubs are doing it, because they just blanket. They just literally carpet bomb out cease and desists. Oh, you just said go Cubs go in a sing-songy way, okay? No! Cease and desist. So if you're doing uniforms, and gets scandalous and awesome, okay? Scandalous and awesome, which I did with the Entourage movie, okay? Because it was outside of HBO, which Westworld HBO, you should watch that show. Follow them on Twitter, and it's at Westworld, West like East, World like Earth, Westworld HBO, home box office, Westworld HBO, all one phrase. Look at how selling a Let's Hug It Out bitch shirt for HBO's Entourage. You can do that outside because they can't trademark certain things that happen inside the show. So it's kind of wink, wink, inside knowledge. I'm wrapping up in a second, Brady. It's wink, wink, inside knowledge, but then it's helpful because you can do this team shirt. You can do the Tom Brady creamsicle colored Buccaneers uniform. Just don't put Buccaneers or Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But you can use the creamsicle colors, okay? You can use the creamsicle colors and then put 12 and then Brady. You can't put TB12 because he trademarked that. But if you put Brady, it could be Brady the dog, and then number 12. You can do a creamsicle jersey with that. And this is even more crazy, is that you can sell a jersey that's an old creamsicle jersey. You know, everyone's talking about the creamsicle Buccaneers jerseys, okay? You can buy an old creamsicle jersey, okay? Unstitch whatever number is on that creamsicle jersey, and then stitch on a 12, and then get it customized with Brady. Bam, you just now have a $250 jersey, which you bought at eBay for 10 bucks. This is how stuff starts on an external API. And that's why you've got to read the source code of how does a trademark law work? And then how does copyright work? And then what's going to happen is somebody's going to send you a cease and desist letter. Somebody's going to send you a cease and desist letter. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to have countermeasures for it. Now, none of this is legal advice, and I'm not a lawyer, but I would, if you know what you're doing, as soon as you get that cease and desist letter, send out a thank you note for that cease and desist letter, because nothing scares inside legal counsel more than an obnoxious prick who will send hilarious retorts to C and Ds, because that's next level fun for a lawyer. And Carl Opadol would say, do you want to do this fight the regular way or the fun way? And that's why I'm a lot of people's favorite person, because I always want to do it the fun way. The fun way was to say, look, I've met Sherry St. John, and this is actually what we said. I've met Sherry St. John, C-H-E-R-I, Saint, S-T, John. I've met Sherry St. John a ton of times. She's beautiful. And so if you get Sherry St. John to send me something to do, I'll do whatever Sherry wants me to do. That was our response to the C&D letter for FICO saying no longer use the phrase FICO in your marketing materials. You don't necessarily always want to do it the fun way because it's kind of dangerous. But if danger is your middle name and you've already won 6, 7, 8, 9 times, then I would definitely try to do it the fun way. But you always want to publish the C&D letter, especially if it catches you doing something completely right, which is why I remember February 26th, 2013, because I was hosting a great Stanford Entrepreneurship Week event with permission from the university. And I, instead of installing myself as a speaker, I mean, do you really want to hear me talk for an hour? Half of you don't even understand half of the stuff. And then you're gonna maybe not go back and rewind it. Maybe you will because of the cute dog. Maybe. But I installed Lisa Falzone to speak, and then I didn't even introduce her. I introduced Robert Scoble, who then introduced her, and then Robert Scoble then interviewed Lisa Falzone. So I was just writing bitch on the event. Bitch like the person who does the check-ins, the person who does registrations, the person who goes to get the food. And then they pulled my venue. I hosted it at Stanford Athletics at 6041 campus. During the C&D, they had 2 sheriffs come. So I was like, what am I going to do with my venue? So instead of throwing the people who got me the venue under the bus, okay, because I'm all about stonewalling and protecting and insulating risk mitigation, risk minimization, risk elimination, RMRE. So instead of throwing people under the bus of saying, hey, you know, we're going to keep this venue, I moved it across the street to the Sheraton Hotel and hosted and worked the 200-person event at the hotel. So I had to actually migrate. So when I'm saying I was writing bitch, I really was the bitch because I had to like migrate people to getting and wrangling them from 641 campus to the Sheraton Hotel, which is where all the student athletes stay. And that's when I had to execute on an event when they caught me doing something good. So when we're talking about Go Cubs Go or Cubs Social, I hope some of this stuff helps all of you guys in your entrepreneurship journey with doing something scandalous, where you understand the rules and you understand sort of where to bend the rules but never break the rules. Hope you're well. Brady, you're such a good dog. You want to go for a bathroom? Look at your little tongue. Brady, you're a good dog.